Well, hello. We've come to the end of the quarter. This is the 13th Sabbath in our second quarter. And this is the story for June 27th, entitled Praying for Pets. Praying for Pets. Now, this one's a little bit of a story with four of the children: Revel, Lucas, Nikki, and Kalita. So I'm going to be taking all parts for you from this, and I'll let you know who's reading each segment. So Cyprus is a very challenging place to share Jesus. The Seventh-day Adventist Church has only 103 members on this Mediterranean island of 1.1 million people. But one missionary family is seeing amazing answers to prayer. The four missionary children wanted a pet for a long time. They begged for a cat or a dog when the family moved from their homeland in Greece to work far away in the Philippines. Father was busy teaching at the Adventist International Institute of Advanced Studies, and Mother was caring for the four children while studying for a master's degree in education. The parents were not interested in having a pet to feed or clean up after. Mother said, "No pets," to the children. Now, the children knew better than to argue, and after 4 years in the Philippines, the family moved to a new missionary post in Cyprus. Father rented a house with a big yard. The children were now older, and their pleas for a pet grew louder. Revel said, "Can we have a cat?" Lucas said, "How about a dog?" Nikki said, "It would be so nice to have a cat." And Kalita said, "Or even a little kitten." Father and Mother hadn't changed their minds, but amid the chorus of pleas from the children, they were glad to have a good excuse to say no. Father said, "The contract that we have signed to rent the house says no pets." The children, however, weren't ready to give up. Kalita said, "Can we pray about it?" Father said, "You can pray all you want," he said. So the children began to pray that evening. Revel prayed, "Dear Jesus, please give us a cat." Lucas added, "Or a dog?" And Nikki said, "A cat would be nice." Kalita said, "Or even a little kitten." It so happened that the next door neighbour had a big cat, and the cat gave birth to 3 black kittens. When the kittens were just 1 month old, they began to explore the neighbour's yard on their own. One day, the kittens found a hole in the low brick wall separating their yard from the missionary family's yard, and they scampered through it. Kalita said, "Look, we have 3 kittens in our yard." The other children came running. Sure enough, 3 kittens were playing in the grass. Soon the children were petting them and playing with them. The kittens came to the missionary's yard every day. As they grew bigger, they stayed in the yard. When they saw the window of the missionary family's house open, they jumped inside and made themselves at home. Father and Mother couldn't say anything. Nobody in the family had brought the cats home, so there was no way to tell them to take them away. The children were thrilled. God had answered their prayers by giving them not just one pet, but 3. You know, God answers prayers in amazing ways when we ask. That's exactly what God is doing in Cyprus. In 2012, the Adventist Church had only about 75 members. After a membership audit, only 60 members remained. But church members prayed, and in 2018, church membership passed 100 for the first time. God answered their prayers. Now church members are praying for a new church building in Cyprus, and part of this quarter's 13th Sabbath offering will help construct it. Thank you very much for your 13th Sabbath offering. And we've got a bonus story here called Fire. One summer, the Papua Nui missionary family, which is the family we just read about, went camping with other Adventist families at a church-owned campsite near the seashore in their homeland, Greece. It was a dry, hot summer, and a big forest fire broke out near the campsite on a Sunday afternoon. The adults and children watched and waited to see what would happen. The fire crept closer and closer to the campsite. The campers formed a circle and began to sing and pray. As the campers sang and prayed, a wind started to blow. To their surprise, the wind blew the flames away from the campsite. The group sang and prayed for 20 minutes, and the wind kept blowing the fire further and further away. The adults grew tired. The children grew tired. Okay, the danger is over, someone said, and the group broke up. Within minutes, the wind changed direction and it blew harder than before, and the fire raced toward the campsite. Evacuate! Someone shouted. Many campers fled to the safety of the seashore, which was about 700 yards or meters away. And at that moment, 2 firefighters arrived, and 5 Adventist men decided to stay on the campsite with them. Hours passed, and at midnight the fire came within 100 yards of the fence surrounding the campsite. Flames could be seen licking the tops of pine trees. The 5 men and 2 firefighters formed an emergency line, but they knew there was little they could do to help. The Adventists prayed. Just when the fire came within 10 yards of the fence, a big brigade of firefighters arrived and quickly put out the flames. In the morning, the campers looked at the scene in astonishment. The entire area around the fence was black. Even a neighbouring campsite had been burned to the ground. The Adventist campsite looked like a green oasis in the middle of a blackened wasteland. It was an answer to prayer. The Lord stopped the fire right at the fence, said Kim Papanui, a missionary father on Cyprus. We knew it was not going to touch us, and our camp was saved. Wasn't that a wonderful story? Well, I hope you enjoyed the mission stories this quarter, and we'll see you next week for a new quarter's mission stories from a whole nother place. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye.